Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm here to speak as a user and a lawyer of the system. And I must first commend the team that brought this idea together, because I think it is a great initiative. And if implemented in the correct way, I think it's going to be very, very useful to the whole legal profession. Now, as has been stated already, the idea was to make filing system especially be as smooth and less stressful as possible. And to some extent, I think that aim has been achieved. I mean, when my office started using the system, I must say there were quite a lot of challenges. I mean, even requesting a BP number was an issue. But Mr. Baiden and his team, there's been a vast improvement from a couple of months ago. Initially, to get a BP number, you had to put in the request, 3 days, 4 days, no response. You'd have to call somebody before they get back to you. But now I can attest to the fact that at least when you request for a BP number, it takes roughly 2 days and you get your response. Another thing is we've been able to requisition court orders, rulings that have been officially stamped or digitally stamped. And we've been able to pay fees on the system. And I must say, like, it's been so far, it's been an improvement, it's been a help, because there have been situations where you can sit in your office, put in your request and go on doing other things whilst you wait for your response to come in. And like I said, that has been beneficial. Another thing is, because of the e-justice system, software forms of the forms have been made. So you don't even need to print out a hard copy. You can simply fill in the form online and upload. If you don't have a scanner and you have the internet connection, I think you can just fill in the form online and then upload. Now, another thing that I would commend them for, especially Divorce and Matrimonial Court 3, I must say that they work in real time. When you have a case in that court, you get notified that a case is upcoming. By the time you walk out of the courtroom, you've already been sent an email that for the adjourned date or to the adjourned date. And I must say that the team in that courtroom is working very well, and we must commend them for that. Now, just like everything that starts new, it has its problems. One main problem that I have is the fact that I would have wanted the e-justice system to be something that can be used 24 hours a day. But we still have the human element, so this 24-hour a day doesn't work. For instance, if I request a BP number at, say, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, the person in charge of issuing the BP number may have closed already. So that means from 5 o'clock till the next day, I am not going to get a BP number. I would like, going forward, that the system is automated in such a way that once I make a request for a BP number, regardless of whether there's a person sitting behind the machine at that time or not, I can still get my BP request. Whether it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I should be able to get a BP request. I think the system can be made or can be upgraded in such a way that the BP numbers can be auto-generated. You can put in algorithms to show that, for instance, Ghana, yes, some names look similar, or some names are the same, but not different people. The algorithms can be put in to ensure that, for instance, if the name is similar or the same, the system will move on to the next thing to differentiate. That could be a phone number or an email, and then automatically give out the BP number. That way, duplication would also be limited, because we've also had issues of BP numbers being duplicated and then later having to be corrected. Another problem I have is with the assessment. Again, that is one area that I would wish is also automated, in the sense that now when you put in a filing, you have to wait for whoever it is to do the cross-checking and then come back with the assessment before you can move on. I am thinking that with the introduction of AI, certain things can be done in such a way that once you make the filing, the system should be able to calculate. So you can make a declaration that the claim you are making is about this figure. So the system should be able to calculate immediately that this is the percentage we take for filing fee, so that it would immediately give you the bill. Then you can have the option of waiting a day or 5 days to make the payment, or you can go ahead and pay. And again, I must commend the team that payment is quite easy. You can do it through any of the mobile networks. I've done it through Vodafone, I've done it through MTN, I've done it through Tigo. So at least the networks collaborating with the system is also a good thing. It's something that should be commended. Again, whilst commending Divorce Court 3, I must say that there are some courts that are not as up to date as they are. I've had a situation where I went to court, 3 days later, I got notified that I am supposed to go to court when the day has already passed. And what even makes it worse in such a situation is that the reminder comes practically with little or no information. It just tells me that motion has been scheduled. It doesn't give me the court, it doesn't give me the, it doesn't give me what court, it doesn't give me maybe the title of the motion or some pertinent information that I would need to follow up on. So I think if that is looked at, it would be really great, because I would want to have constant reminders. Maybe, like I said, when I'm walking out of the court, I get notified that, okay, in October, I have a case. I would want another reminder probably 2 days prior to the actual date, and then maybe a couple of hours to either by text message or email, depending on, of course, the user has the option to choose which way they want the notification to be sent. Also, some of the information on the system is not updated regularly. I've had cases I've dealt with that still show that the process is being served. E-Justice was supposed to help cut off those issues that sometimes you go to court, you know very well a process has been filed, only for the other party to say, I haven't been served. E-Justice is supposed to make it in such a way that there'll be a digital receipt of the person being served. Now, here's the case on my system. It is telling me that process is still being served. How then would I show the judge that indeed the service has gone through when that update has not been done? So that's another thing that I think we should look at. Now, for the e-justice system to work, communication is key. By communication, I'm talking about communication from the team to we, the lawyers, and also to the users or the non-lawyer users, because it's not everyone who undertakes a case who wants to use a lawyer. The training programs have been organized, but unfortunately, the time has not been such that an in-depth training has taken place. So, for instance, Bram-Larbi Beecham had to get in touch with the e-justice team at the court, and they did great. They came to the office and offered one-on-one help. So that is something I think law firms that can afford would also take a look at. They are there, but I would also suggest that probably YouTube or tutorial instruction videos can be made and the links made available. So a tutorial video can be made of how you request a BP number. A tutorial video can be made of how you file a motion. A tutorial video can be made of how you file a writ. All the things that the portal or the interface allows you to do, tutorial videos can be made available and links shared, so that even when, I mean, people forget, you can, if you are not used to something, it's quite hard to get it from the onset. So if the videos are made available, I think it would help boost the usage of the system, because a lot of people do not want to use the system because they do not know much about it. And some people don't even know that there's anything called a BP number. So I think communication is really, really key for us in this system. And like I said, if the e-justice works, the whole legal profession, I'm going to be in my bedroom and file cases and not worry about the other side coming to court to say I haven't been served, because I would have evidence on record, or the judge would have evidence that, I'm sorry, you were served at 11:59 a.m. You can't say that you haven't been served. But we have a long way to go. But I must say that the team has done a great job so far, or at least they are listening to us. Yeah, I've seen some updates to the interface because of some comments that some users made. So I think there is room for improvement, but the team overall should be commended for having this initiative started. And I am hoping that going forward, it will get to a point where the judge will be in his house and we would all be doing hearings from the comfort of our homes.